Welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading in October on October 25th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll get started with our Forex factory. All right, so there wasn't a ton of data today. PMI numbers were the most important thing out of the Eurozone. We have positive data, and then we have positive data for the US as well. We did have a trade here in a Euro-US dollar. So aside from the PMI numbers, another thing that happened was our in the U.S. session, late in the U.S. session, there were concerns around, or there were comments about the tax reform bill, that there wasn't a majority in Senate. And another thing that happened was the Fed chairperson. There was an actual announcement, but let me just see what was going on here. Let me see. Actually, I don't have the site open. Let me just have a quick look. So the person to replace Yellen, there were comments flying around that. So those two together created a lot of volatility in the market, and we saw Euro spike up and it came right down. So let's take a look. I'm trying to recall what that was. There was, can't remember that guy's name. He was the one who seems like is going to, so yeah, here. So Fed chair, there was a voting on Fed chair here. And then we have Senator Scott. No, Taylor or seemed to win Senate GOP straw poll. So that's what's going on. So anyway, so that created volatility in the market. And as a result of that, there was spike. So going into tomorrow, we have a big day. So coming up, we have CPI data actually. And we did have a Aussie Yen trade open. I'm gonna close that. So make sure that trade is closed. It should be, it should just be at break even or something like that. Nothing much has happened with that. It did drop a bit, but then it spiked with that volatility spike. And we have basically news coming up in 15 minutes for that. So I do not recommend keeping the trade open. So so just a note of caution there. So basically, anything could happen with that. All the yen crosses are dropping currently, but except for the Aussie yen. Aussie is pushing up. So with the CPI data coming up, this is a very important piece of data for Australian dollar. Anytime inflation numbers come up, they are very important. And then going into tomorrow, the big news, first we have preliminary GDP data for British pound in the London session. Then we have core durable goods for the US. But the most important thing will be Bank of Canada monetary policy report and the rate statement. They're not expected to do an interest rate hike. So just to give you a little kind of background on what happened with Bank of Canada. Bank of Canada has done two interest rate hikes back to back. But I think it was in September where Bank of Canada Governor Poloz essentially came and said that the Bank of Canada is not going to do mechanical interest rate hikes, which means they're not going to hike interest rates every single time. They're concerned about the impact of interest rate hikes on the economy. and stuff like that. So the numbers that we have seen come out of Canada, the last couple of numbers, have not been that positive. So that sort of aligns with the bank's cautionary stance. And as a result of that, we are likely to not see an interest rate hike. What the market will be watching for, though, will be what Bank of Canada has to say, what their outlook is for the economy, and how they see things proceeding from here on out. So at this point, so I would say just be careful with this, because we don't have a good we don't know which way this could go. It will all be dependent on what their comments are like. So I would not trade Canadian dollar going into that, because unexpected things can happen. Okay, aside from that, that's it. We have trade balance. So big day tomorrow, and on Thursday as well, we have ECB press conference and bid rate for euro, and that's why we had seen euro. One, the positive data came out, and secondly, we also saw, because market is waiting for this ECB decision, and as a result of that, euro is sort of holding its own for now, whereas Canadian dollar has been weak going into the interest rate decision tomorrow. So we have two banks coming back to back, so keep that in mind. Let's go on to our charts here. Okay, so in terms of euro US dollar here, not much of a move, a very, very small move. It has held this level that we were watching. The close is below this level, which shows that market may move lower. So this level is 1.1780 level. So as long as price holds below, we can see it move lower. But I wouldn't expect a big move in this. The level here that I would keep in mind is 1.1695 level, right into the support or resistance. It can go a little bit lower into the 80 level. But that's pretty much it. I'm not expecting a big move out of this. And if we take a look here, so price went into this previous support and resistance level that we had talked about yesterday. Our first level that we were watching was this. And then it went all the way into this previous support and resistance level that we had talked about. Anyway, so big pullback. So right now, it looks more like railroad tracks. So it looks like it may come down. And I'm looking for this level, which is essentially the S3 level, 1.1680 level is what I'm looking for. But I'm not expecting a huge move in this. Pound dollar weak, very nice bearish engulfing candle close. We're looking for price to move lower. I'm looking at 1.3020 level back into this level here, but the first critical place would be 130.80 level, so price needs to be able to break below this. So that will be the first target, this pin, and then looking for further move down into 130.20 area. This is where we are. This was a very, very nice setup. This would have happened in the in the Asian session or early London here. So very, very triple top type of formation, engulfing candle. So this is where we are. So now I'm looking for a flag formation. And in a flag formation, basically, we're just looking for, we usually have a drop, then we look for a pullback, and we look for price to drop again. So that's what we're looking for. First target would be 1.3068, or sorry, 80 level, and then second target would be the other level we had talked about, 130.20. So I am bearish on pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, we have news coming up, but just purely based on technicals, this is bearish, and I will look for a further move to the downside. Target would be 0.7730 level right about here. With this one, because there's news coming out, we do need to be open to that. So right now it's consolidating, it's pushing up higher. We could see the price come into this level, 77.98, so about 7,800 level. But from technical perspective, this is bearish, but with the news, this could go either way. If the CPI numbers come in positive, this could go excuse me, this could be bullish, but if the CPI numbers come in bearish, then of course we are looking for bearish move in this one. So we'll have to just watch where the data goes besides the technical. New Zealand here, New Zealand, huge drop here. We had talked about this level, 0.700 level yesterday. So price went in, pretty much tested that level, dropped from there, still looks very bearish. So I'm looking for price to move up into the 69.20 level and then do a drop from there. So this one has a bearish close. So this is the level that I'm looking for, 69. 20-ish level right about here, could go into this level here actually, 69.36 level, which is quite right around the pivot point level, and then a drop here. So this is bearish. Dollar CAD here, this looks bullish. We have that bullishness still intact. It is into our resistance here, but going into the interest rate decision here, I don't see Canadian dollar go up too much because there will be uncertainty in the market. I would expect smaller moves out of this. So overall, we have pins on both sides, but there is still green body close. So I'm looking for price to move up higher. The target, it could go all the way up to 127.67 level, back into the highs here. So this one still has some bullishness left into it. So those will be the levels I would keep on this one. Euro pound here, big bullish close for euro pound. So looking for further move to the upside. The target in this case would be 0.9020 level. So looking for further move to the upside. Euro Swiss franc, this has been quite bullish. So we were looking at this bullish trend line going forward. So now it has broken through this level, and the next target is up there, 1.1740 level. So the move that we can expect in this here would be something like this, and then a further move to the upside. So overall, though, bias is bullish. Pound Swiss franc, not much of a move, a very neutral close. So at this point, we are just looking at range-bound market. If price comes into 129.50, I'm looking for it to bounce off towards the middle of the range. If it goes into 130.40, I'm looking for it to drop back into the middle of the range here. So very neutral either way. Okay, dollar Swiss franc, big huge move to the upside. Price could not break this level, so we're looking for another move to the upside. 99.50 will be the next target, right into the support and resistance. So this is very bullish at the moment. This is pound yen. Pound yen, it is moving lower, but this is a very neutral close for the day. As a result of that, we are neutral on this, but it is still making lower highs. So the bias is bearish to neutral. The next target for this will be 148.50 level. So I'm looking for it to drop. Euro yen here. Euro yen, we are back into the highs over here again. We have seen railroad tracks pointing to the upside. But if you take a look at the 1 hour, so we're seeing this similar sort of formation that we saw in pound. See this pound yen that I showed you, 3 pushes into this level. So this is what we are seeing with our pound yen. Not pound yen, euro yen. See how price has gone and tested this level 3 times. So we have railroad tracks, and now prices moving to the downside. So based on that, I would be looking for a move back down towards 133.20. But from daily candle perspective, this looks bullish. But basically what I'm saying is we're stuck in this range. So we're looking for price to break out of the range. So if the price breaks to the upside, then we could see further move up. So let's say price comes into pivot point, because this is an important support and resistance area as well, and then goes back up, breaks through, we could see this move. So right now this looks bearish as it is, but if it doesn't break below this 133.80 area and does not hold below this, then we are looking for a further move to the upside in this. So I'm looking for a pullback into pivot point first, And if it stays above the pivot point, then I'm looking for it to go back up. But if it breaks below pivot point, then I'm looking for it to come and test the bottom over here again before making a move to the upside. Aussie Yen here, very, very neutral close. Nothing happened. And for Aussie, we have news coming in 5 minutes. And right now, Australian dollar is moving up ahead of the news. And as a result, Aussie Yen is moving up as well. So for this one, I am completely neutral, not the best pair to be trading at this point. Dollar Yen here, big close to the upside. Price has rejected this bottom of yesterday's low here twice now, and it's moving back up. So at this point, I would say, so first we need to see the break. So right now, what price has done here, as well as in pound yen here as well, we have just basically, we saw a drop and then we saw a move back up. Same thing here, drop and a move back up. So now we need to see a break of either of these sides. So if the price breaks above 114.10 level, then I would be looking for a move above, move to the upside at 144.50 level. But price could start moving lower from there, from here. As we can see, price is sort of holding this level right here. So if it starts to move lower, then I would be looking for it to come and test this bottom again, 113.20 level. So with the yen here, one of the challenges is that the politics is playing a role at the moment because we had elections. So Abe won. And as a result of that, it's just going through same thing, similar stuff as New Zealand dollar is doing. So it's kind of trying to figure, market is trying to figure out what kind of stance to take in terms of Japanese yen. And that's why we are seeing these kind of moves back and forth here. So that's what I'm looking at. Basically, I'm looking to trade the range for now till the price breaks out of the range on one side or the other, and then we'll trade that. This one, we have a bullish candle close, and as a result of that, I would look for a move to the upside, but this one could come test lower here. So price could come all the way either into, excuse me, 150.80 level, which is about here, or it could come just into this pivot point. So I'm just going to leave this here so we could see price come lower and then move up. Or it could come all the way and test this trend line and then push up as well. Overall, though, this is Euro Aussie is bullish, except we have news coming up in 2 minutes. So that's something to keep in mind. Last one, CAD Yen. We have a pin and a bullish candle close, so makes it neutral. Overall, the bias is still to the downside because the close is still higher than previous. Sorry, so it's still kind of, the highs are still lower than the previous highs. So it's sort of tilted to the downside for now. And that's it. Any questions or anything to add? Oh, also, I will be back trading the London session. I'm feeling much better, so I'll be trading the London session. I do enjoy trading the London session more so than the New York, so I'll be back for the 2 a.m. open. All right, so we'll call it a wrap for now. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the morning.